And what remains is nurture and love and support, all good things. Whatever we deny leaves our experience. Right now, I want to focus on denial number 2 because this is the one that can get a little tricky with regard to our actual enjoyment of good in our lives. So, there is no reality to matter. That's the second denial. According to Emma, there is no reality to matter because it's an illusion. Matter, she says, is an illusion. She's not the first person to make this claim. Throughout the ages, most of the great thinkers have said something along those lines. They have thought of spirit and matter as opposing forces, if you will. Baruch Spinoza, for example, said, "I choose to know spirit rather than to imagine matter." The transcendental poet William Ellery Channing said that from the beginning, philosophers have held that everything is spirit and that matter is only an appearance. There's no reality to it. The Buddhists, of course, feel the same way. In fact, in the Buddhist way of thinking, anything we can apprehend with our senses is illusion. It's not reality. Only divine energy is real. Now, our founder, Ernest Holmes, thought of it a little bit differently. He did not deny the circumstances of life. He said, if you are not feeling well, then this is a real condition. But it's not the truth. He didn't see conditions as illusion, but he also did not see them as truth. So Emma Curtis Hopkins' assessment of matter is not too far afield from Holmes and Science of Mind. It doesn't contradict our way of thinking, but it bears closer examination for our purposes. Emma said that matter is the appearance that results from steady silence as to what and where God is. What does that mean? That when we keep quiet about our good, what results is matter. So for Emma, matter is not such a good thing. This will become clear. So if we want to manifest the good, which we recognize and know that we ought to have, we have to speak the truth about what and where our good is. And she literally means speak the truth out loud. Say it to yourself and other people if you're that brave. We cannot ever allow our idea of good to be hindered by anything that is transient and unreliable. And to Emma, matter is, by definition, transient and unreliable. It's moving, shifting, subject to change. We can't depend on it. It's not permanent. See, spirit is free, right? And it's free-flowing. Therefore, our good is free and free-flowing. Whereas matter is static and it's burdened. And the way that we overcome this burden is by making denials, by speaking aloud about what is not true. The good news is when we deny the existence of matter, anything like poverty, death, disease, decay, and trouble will just go away. They will disappear. We will no longer experience them. They'll be gone. Okay, the not so good news is this. When we deny the existence of matter, everything in our lives we think of as matter will also disappear, not just the bad stuff. It's not often I caution people to be careful with their spiritual practice, but I'm saying, pay attention to this piece. It is so powerful when it's used correctly. So no matter what we deny as matter, it goes away. In Emma's own words, when we deny matter, we are likely to lose our money, our friends, our houses, and our lands. if we regard those things as matter. So what is the answer? I mean, aren't we seeking to manifest more good and not less? Of course we are. But here's the key. Like Emma Curtis Hopkins, we must clearly differentiate between matter and substance. They're not the same thing. If you have, up until now, thought of matter and material good and substance as the same thing, it's time to make a differentiation. Let me make it easy for you. Substance, good. Matter, not so good. It's easy, right? Yeah. Meister Eckhart wrote, "To be full of things is to be empty of God. To be empty of things is to be full of God." So let's start with the things we love. For me, that would be pets, shoes, food, and people, in that order. Definitely in that order. When we covered this lesson in class, we had the benefit of lots of time to discuss it in great detail. And one of the students exclaimed, rather urgently, "Wait a minute. Does this mean when I deny matter, that my furniture will go away?" And I could just see her sitting on the floor watching her not television. But the answer to her question is yes, of course, if she regards her furniture as matter. Now, on the other hand, if she sees her furniture as spirit and form, as part and parcel of the divine substance in her life, then it will remain as one of the elements that constitute her overall expression of good. I tried to explain this to my husband. I really want to get that leather chair out of my experience, but he loves it so much, I'm sure it's substance to him. It's matter to me. All right, what about you? What do you value? What do you love and want to keep and have more of? And what do you want to release? If you really want to benefit from the practice of denial, and everyone can because it is powerful, it's a principle, and a principle always works every time you apply it, without fail. But if you're going to do this, I recommend taking an inventory of the stuff in your lives. Look at everything you treasure, tangible and intangible, and then decide whether to you, in the privacy of your own mind, whether it's matter or whether it's substance. You could start with people. Children and grandchildren you probably want to keep and put in the substance column, right?